We are still getting new visitors. So, but I would start right away. So hello and welcome to this behind the scenes on this Tuesday, shortly before lunch break, well-deserved lunch break probably. Um, this demo, as you can hear, will be held in English. And it is one of many demos, webinars, and roundtables throughout the next weeks and month. My name is Felix, and I am Account and Success Manager at Brain, taking care of the clients in the DACH region mainly. And what is this whole product demo behind the scenes about? So basically, today I want to show you how quickly gamification can be used to leverage your marketing campaigns. And first, I will tell you more about SPAR and their use case. And afterwards, I show you how the game can be built within the Brain software. And one important thing is that you can ask questions in between using the F&A function of Microsoft Teams. And I will try to answer them afterwards because the plan is that we still have some time left at the end. So please use this function if you have any question in between. So let's get right into it. So what is the whole campaign about? Basically, we start with the first information about SPAR, because for the ones of you who don't know SPAR, I can tell you the SPAR Group is a Swiss retail company headquartered in St. Gallen, focusing mainly on the sale of food and food-related products. So the company acquired the SPAR license for the whole of Switzerland from SPAR International in 1989, and from that moment on, they were allowed to open food stores under the SPAR name throughout the whole Switzerland. What is also quite important is that today they operate more than 250 stores throughout the whole country. And as you can imagine, and this is actually what it is about today, like many food retail chains, they are providing a customer loyalty program, right? So now to the use case, before I show you how the game can be built within the Brain software. Their challenge was in 2022 that they previously launched their new loyalty program, SPAR Friends, but they were lacking awareness for it. So the goal basically was that the number of memberships needed to be increased, right? So what did they do? The whole campaign was set up to support the whole program and push the number of registrations. And as you can see on the right side, the campaign lasted for 2 weeks, from 1st of August to 14th of August. What we can say about the promotion is that they wanted to use digital as well as offline channels to reach out to their target group. And the target group is basically every person that needs to buy groceries and food for living, right? So on the one hand, they placed additionally big posters at the POS within the stores, and they also handed out flyers. So basic flyers as you know them in the physical form. Adding to that, and this is what I said in the beginning, with the digital channels, they posted, like meanwhile, something classic to do on Instagram, on Facebook, and directly led the users to the Brain game. So one special thing about the promotion was that they also used QR codes that could have been scanned by potential customers within the store, or like if they have the flyer in their hand with the QR code on it, and then directly bringing the customer or the potential customer to the App Store, pushing the users to download their smartphone app, which was also something that they aimed for. So as you can see on top of this slide, it was a memory game that they created. The memory game, worldwide known classic game, it combines like the ability to remember visuals and the individual position. with the basic feeling of success and satisfaction in case the cards are being matched correctly, right? So the brain memory game adds the dimension of time to the challenge, and it is possible to reward the fastest players. Solve the memory within a certain time period, and you win, or don't solve it, and you lose, basically. So playing the game can feel like a competition that sometimes even provokes the players to play several times and beat their previous score. And this is actually something that would be the same for me. So what we say at Brain is that those characteristics make it a so-called skill game, which is predestined to generate leads and drive the conversion. One very smart move of SPAR was that they wanted to make the players feel good and raffled off their grand prize among all participants. So there were basically no losers. So a seamlessly positive experience with the brand. Besides the whole setup, how did it perform? So what you see right here is that it was basically a very positive and successful campaign. I can, of course, not tell you the exact numbers, but several thousand of games, this is something I can tell you, have been started, of which 93% have been finished, which basically shows that people have been hooked and didn't drop out before having a result. And what's the most impressive number here is that incredible, like 51% of all the unique leads that registered within the game have been converted into new SPAR Friends members. So have been part or like members of this loyalty program that they wanted to push. Something that's also interesting to see is that the click-through rate has been pushed by 25% to 4.5%. And I mean, the engagement time of nearly 2 minutes is out of this world, to be honest. And all of these factors combined prove that people were willing to spend time with the brand just because the purpose of this campaign was centered within the gamified approach. And something that I don't want to talk too much about, but it's always pretty positive for us at Brain too, of course. It's always great to hear positive feedback regarding the results of those gamified campaigns, because what we want to make is a difference compared to classic marketing campaigns. Therefore, we are happy that SPAR Head of Department Corinna Traxel has been looking forward and still is to many other campaigns with us at Brain. So having explained the use case and the campaign itself, now we get right into the builder, which explains and shows how easy this game can be rebuilt within our software. And let me start right away with that. So first, you give a campaign a name, right? Pretty easy. Choose a language, click next, and out of 13 different game types, you choose the memory game. Afterwards, you can choose a template. SPAR used the one named Retro, which you see here in the middle. So after clicking on Create, the builder opens already. So in general, we can say start the campaign creation by uploading all your images and fonts into the asset library, which you can see right here. First the images, and then your individual font. Easy as that. Close. Correct. So in brand and style, you change the general appearance of the whole game. You can add the logo. You can change the favicon, which basically is being seen in the browser tab. And everything that has to do with the whole campaign. So here you see also important, you can enter like a background image for the desktop version and a mobile background image, which makes the campaign optimized basically for iPhones, smartphones generally, iPads, and so on. So besides, you can change all the font types right here to the ones that you uploaded, or use the ones that are already in the asset library by Brame. And then, most important, give it your CI. So that means give it the color that you need, either for your company itself, for the special campaign. You can use the RGB code, you can use the hex code, and the campaign would, or the layout and the colors itself will basically change to the ones you want. So that always gives the campaign like in a very good appearance within a very short time, so it looks directly as it would come from your company. Same for the buttons. You can change all the buttons. Here they took the rectangle, rounded corners, and gave it the white text color and a certain border color and background color, so it matches the whole appearance of the campaign. So as I said before, this is what you do for the whole campaign. So every page looks basically the same. But before we look at the other pages, we take a look at how easy it is to change the texts. You just click right into it and change text as if you would use your keyboard. Within seconds, then change the description, for example. And here, give a short and teasing explanation of why the visitor should play. What is he about to win in the best case? So that's basically it. What, of course, is important too is that you can always connect your data privacy policy, your terms and conditions to the game, to the campaign itself. And of course, this still needs to be adjusted too. Exactly. Also possible to change the colors here again. So everything is freely adjustable. You have every possibility to customize colors, texts, fonts, images within a very short time period. So that is done. So besides changing the main image on the interaction page, where you give more information about the game maybe, or about the campaign itself, we look at the game view right now. So make the game look like it's coming directly from your company. You can now, for the memory, create the 4 card pairs of the game, which means upload your card pictures that you want to use. So we turn the card around, the pictures will appear. And after that, which in case of SPAR was that they gave information about the loyalty program, basically, is that you can also, of course, choose a card cover. Right here, SPAR Friends, select it, save, and done. That was actually already the game creation. So now, very important registration page, right? Which data do you want to collect? So SPAR wanted to also collect the location of the leads. So they added, for example, here it's the postcode. You can always decide if fields should be mandatory for the user or not, which you can define by clicking on the little star symbol. Then again, change the texts, correct size, correct wording, and that's basically it already. So the final thing you should do is, yes, exchange the picture to the correct one. That's it. So, but what about the results? What about the outcome? So adjust the outcome page and tell the player if he or she won or lost the game. SPAR defined that solving the memory in less than 10 seconds, for example, makes the player win the game, right? Nothing you need to do, but you can. So they explained basically why it is beneficial to be a SPAR Friends member. You see, double points at loyalty promotions. So what they also added, and this is something that you can like freely think about what makes sense for your campaign then maybe in the future, is they added basically two buttons. One button which reloads the game, so play again. Another button that links to the registration page for the loyalty program. So you can easily add those two buttons by just inserting it there, putting an external link, for example, and then click on save. So the two buttons appeared now. So here you see the advantage of the loyalty program and have the direct call to action to sign up for it on the specific landing page. And of course, every company is meanwhile active on social media channels. So SPAR also included those social media links to the respective accounts. In this case, it was website, it was Facebook, Instagram, and we see the last one, LinkedIn, of course. Save, and the four buttons appear. Easy as that. So I talked about terms of service or terms and conditions and privacy policy. Just to tell you, you can use our template and change certain parts, or you can link to your own ones, which is what most clients do. Emails, also something very important. SPAR wanted to send emails to every winner. Those emails can be sent directly from our system and can also be adjusted easily by yourself. So what is now, as the campaign is basically created, or the game is basically fully created, I want to stop right here because now it gets important. This is the publish button. So when you are done with your campaign, you click on publish. So the link to the campaign gets active. So you can still test it, of course, but now it is accessible through the internet for every person that clicks on the link. So what you see if you click on the publish button is that you are being asked, are you ready to publish? Good question, because often there are things to change, little adjustments to make. Do you want to collect analytics? Analytics is basically, for example, I tell you it is unique visits, it's total visits, unique leads versus total leads. You can see started and finished games. You can see the engagement time. You can even see from which browsers or which devices that people played. So if you don't turn collect analytics on, then you cannot see those information. So let's go on here. Also, something good to know is that SPAR allowed multiple registrations. This is something that you should think about. Do you want your potential clients, the target group, the users basically, to play several times with the same email address, but maybe limit it to 1 or 2 or 3 per day? Or do you want the opposite? And in this case, they said, okay, players can play multiple times, but just once per day. And then you click on publish, and here we stop again. So the campaign is now published, right? What you see there is this link that I talked about, the live link. And what you also get then in this moment is not also the link, but also an iframe link. So you can easily integrate the game on your website, for example. You can use it in newsletters, you can post it on social media, and basically decide however you want to use the game link, as you can embed it basically everywhere. So that's already it. That is how this campaign, by in this case SPAR, can be created. It is very easy. It is intuitive. Probably you need a bit of learning time to find all the buttons, to like learn how exactly to set up things, but it is very, very easy to do that. And now I want to show you, and this is something that I of course prepared, is how it looks, right? So we can play that game right now. It looks like that. Now it's in German, of course, but I think the principle gets clear here. So we click on go and the memory starts, right? But the time doesn't start yet. if I start here by clicking on that, the time will run. So let's see what we have here. I think that was here, correct. 10%, 10%. And yes, that's it. 14 seconds. Okay, maybe I was not the fastest. But what you see is that right after the game has finished, we can now enter our data. And this is what I will do for you here. Something that was a little like custom made thing was that we integrated the SPAR Friends number, which you get as soon as you are member of the program. So that is the connection basically between the lead data, the email address, the person itself, and the membership within the loyalty program. So newsletters, I want to have news via email. We have the data privacy policy. We have the terms and conditions. Everything is filled out. They have included this QR code also on the outcome page and also on the register page. We click on send. Then it says, thank you. You are now part of the raffle. And that I, as the one who played, would get a message until end of the campaign. So after the 14th of August, if I won something or not. So that is basically it. Okay, so as we are basically done with the demo itself and the behind the scenes, what I can just ask you is if there are any questions. So I don't see any questions so far. Is that correct? No, I see. There is one. So, possible to receive this presentation afterwards. It is possible to receive this presentation afterwards, definitely. That is no problem at all. But what I can also tell you is that it makes definitely sense, if we go back here, that if you want to have more information on those campaigns, different campaigns, for testing purposes, visit our website, because it makes sense to, and I can show you that too, go right here, and then scroll down to the customer highlights section, which you found right here. And then you will see some of the highlights that we put on the web page so far. You will have some more information. You can read the case study. You can test the game. So we see SPAR here, but we see, for example, also the McDonald's case. And then by clicking on play the game, you can test it out. So this is something that I can definitely recommend to you. And so as we still have some time left, I will just check if there are more questions. See, I think there are no more questions. But if you have questions, please feel free to contact me. I see there is one. Okay, perfect. Happy to hear that this helped. Yeah, please feel free to contact me, felix.huber@brame.io. I will be happy to answer all your questions. And stay tuned, because throughout the next weeks and also month, basically until the end of the year, there will be more behind the scenes. There will be more webinars, more roundtables, different industries, different topics. And it will all be, of course, promoted also on LinkedIn. So if you follow Brame, you will definitely hear from us. And that is basically it. So this being said, I wish you a very nice lunch break. Stay tuned, and then we see each other at the next event. Thank you very much.